Friday through the border. The president also reiterated that Egypt received lists of hostages and prisoners who will be released on the first day of Gaza truce. The conference, which was also attended by public and celebrity figures, came in conjunction with the current developments in Gaza Strip and in solidarity with the Palestinian cause. Earlier on Wednesday, President Sisi welcomed the humanitarian truce in Gaza, which was announced for 4 days and mediated by Egyptian, Qatari, U.S. efforts. The president also wrote on his official page on the social media that he also welcomed the planned exchange of hostages for prisoners held in Israeli jails. The head of state further rejected any attempts to liquidate the Palestinian cause.
Head of Egypt State Information Service, Diya Rashwan, said that the Gaza truce would start on Friday at 7 a.m. Rashwan said that Egypt had received the list of the hostages from the Palestinian and the Israeli sides who will be freed on the first day of the hostages exchange. Rashwan noted that the Egyptian communications and consultations are continuing with all the parties regarding the truce agreed upon to take effect in the Gaza Strip. Meanwhile, the Egyptian aid convoys to Gaza lined in El Arish city ahead of entering into the Strip through the Rafah border crossing. An Egyptian source said that hundreds of humanitarian aid trucks would enter Gaza during the truce days. Israel and Hamas will start a 4-day truce on Friday morning with the first batch of Israeli hostages released later in the day. The agreement would begin at 7 a.m. local time and involve a comprehensive ceasefire in North and South Gaza. The details.
Hamas and Israel will begin a 4-day truce in Gaza on Friday at 7 a.m. or 500 GMT, with the first batch of hostages to be released at 4 p.m. The truce would include a comprehensive ceasefire in both the north and south of the Gaza Strip. As part of the deal, Palestinians will be released from Israeli jails, and lists of civilians to be released from Gaza had been agreed. 13 people will be freed initially, all women and children from the same families. The first pause in the 7-week-old war is meant to be accompanied by the release of 50 women and children hostages captured by Hamas fighters in exchange for 150 Palestinian detainees from Israeli jails. Israel has said the truce could last beyond the initial 4 days as long as Hamas fighters free at least 10 hostages per day. Israel has received an initial list of hostages to be released from Gaza, planned to take place after a ceasefire with Hamas takes hold.
Job opportunities, combating inflation, and reducing the internal and the external debts. Meanwhile, the official page of the candidate of the Republican People's Party in the upcoming presidential elections, Hazem Omar, published his economic program. The program includes reforming of the state's general budget, improving tax policies, increasing production and the social services, and expanding the participation of the private sector in various domains. Regarding banking and monetary policy reforms, the candidate's program stressed the importance of coordination between the monetary and the financial bodies to expand the exports. The National Election Authority concluded the necessary preparations and the procedures of the upcoming presidential elections abroad, which will be held from the 1st to the 3rd of December at the headquarters of the Egyptian diplomatic missions and consulates. As per the NEAs, the elections abroad are held in 137 embassies and consulates in 120 countries around the world. Minister of Finance meets the Bahraini counterpart on boosting joint cooperation. Egypt's stock market indices soar. And the European Union to give nearly €1 billion to Hungary despite the tensions. Minister of Finance Mohammed Maid received the Bahraini Minister of Finance and the National Economy Sulaiman Al Khalifa and the accompanying delegation. During the meeting, Maid expressed wishes of success for the first meeting of the Egyptian Bahraini Governmental Committee to achieve its goals in a way that boosts the joint cooperation on the trade, economic and the technological levels. For his part, the Bahraini minister asserted keenness on pushing forward the bilateral relations into new horizons that achieve the interests of both countries. £5 billion. Global shares hovered around 3-month highs and the dollar found support as the investors tempered some of the earlier enthusiasm about the prospect of the start of a series of U.S. interest rate cuts. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 0.53%, the S&P 500 gained 0.41%, and the Nasdaq Composite added 0.46%. London's FTSE 100 index rose almost 0.2%. The Paris CAC climbed 0.1%, and Frankfurt's DAX 30 also gained 0.1%. In Asia, the Hang Seng Index jumped 0.99%, and the Shanghai Composite Index gained 0.60%. Oil extended the losses after the OPEC announced the shock delay of a key policy meeting, suggesting fresh upheaval in the bloc, while the equities were mixed after 2 U.S. reports dented the recent euphoria over the future of the interest rates. The details follow.
Oil prices sank further on Thursday after the shock decision by OPEC Plus to delay a key policy meeting,